This is the last call for his 1,300 to Cairo. Please proceed
Mika,
to get
this is our flight. Oh my god, let's go. Okay.
in order for the doors of the aircraft.
Twelve sleepless hours later.
Hey, Amma, have you taken all of your belongings? Yes, let's go. Let's go. Out, okay. Uh, is that them? Hi, come here.
Hi!
This is
Hello!
hello. This is
We are your tour guide.
we are your tour guide. Hi. I think yes.
Oh,
let's
okay.
go.
Let's go.
1 hour later.
Wow. This is the pyramid. Oh my god. I can't believe it. You're here. Yes. Oh my god. So happy. Yeah. I really want to know more about the origin of ancient Egyptian civilization. Yeah, I really want to know too. I wonder where we can get all of the information, you know?
In that case, as your tour guide, we are happy to tell you everything you want to know about the ancient Egyptian civilization. The origin of the ancient Egyptian civilization are
The origin of ancient Egyptian culture emerged approximately 6000 BCE in northeastern Africa, specifically near the Nile River. The initial phase is referred to as the pre-dynastic period. Settlements were established along the Nile, where people engaged in hunting and gathering, and later progressed to cultivation. In approximately 3150 BCE, the region of Upper and Lower Egypt were brought together under the authority of a sole leader, signifying the commencement of the early dynastic period, sometimes referred to as the Archaic period. King Menes, who is sometimes linked with Namre, is commonly credited with the beginning of the Pharaonic era. The subsequent civilization flourished for approximately 3,000 years, producing a profound heritage that still captivates our interest in the present day. The pre-dynastic period approximately happened during 6000 until 3150 BCE. The Nile River played a crucial role in sustaining life in the generally arid regions of northeastern Africa. The regular floods that occurred each year brought nutrient-rich silt, which was ideal for farming. The presence of this dependable water source facilitated the establishment of human settlement and the formation of communities. Transitioning from a hunter-gatherer lifestyle to an agricultural one, the ancient Egyptians first adopted a nomadic lifestyle, relying on hunting and gathering for a sedentary way of life. Their agricultural practices involved planting crops like barley and wheat, as well as domesticating animals like sheep and goats. The emergence of community was facilitated by the establishment of permanent settlement along the Nile. This led to the formation of social structure and the advancements of various skills such as tool-making, poetry, and craftsmanship. During this period, the development of hieroglyph, the ancient Egyptian writing system, likely commenced.
Oh, we understand now. Yes. So, what can you tell us about the pharaohs in ancient Egyptian? Alright, that is an interesting question. The pharaohs of ancient Egypt is about
Pharaoh is a title someone holds when they are the head of state and the religious leaders of the people in Egypt. The word pharaoh, which to be defined as the great house, a reference to a palace where the pharaoh resides. They are always considered to be the ties between gods and Egyptians with respective roles with the title that they hold. roles such as maintaining religious harmony and participating in ceremonies. The roles of pharaohs as statesmen, where they create laws, wage war, collecting taxes, and oversaw all the land in Egypt, which was owned by the pharaohs. The first pharaoh that is recognized by history is named Narmer, also known as Menes. The historians believe that he was the first ruler to unite Upper and Lower Egypt, and also why they hold the title of Lord of Two Lands. An additional fun fact, pharaohs are always male leaders, but female leaders such as Cleopatra and Hatshepsut also existed. Particularly, they weren't highlighted as much due to many inscriptions and monuments of hers were destroyed. It is believed to prevent women from becoming pharaohs in the future. Another fun fact, Howard Carter discovered the tomb of King Tutankhamun, a pharaoh who died when he was only 19. In regards to the list of the pharaohs, I shall include the list in motion to display the large number of the leaders of Egypt that lasted for multiple dynasties. However, some of the most well-known pharaoh would be Menes, who is the first pharaoh around the year 31,000 BC. Besides that, pharaoh named Hoser, who was the first one to build a pyramid at Saqqara, which marked the turning point in pyramid construction in Egypt. Khufu or Cheops was the pharaoh that was credited on building one of the seven wonders of the world, which is the pyramids of Giza. Alongside that, familiar names such as Hatshepsut and Cleopatra VII are particularly two well-known pharaohs with intelligence and prosperity during their ruling, which is female. And King Tut, or known as King Tutankhamun, was one of the most famous pharaoh, as his tomb being discovered has sparked global attention in ancient Egypt.
Do you know anything about the legacy of the ancient Egyptian civilization?
I do.
Innovations in mathematics and written language in particular propelled their civilization to success. Math, specifically measurement mathematics, helped the Egyptians understand and harness their world with numbers like no other civilization had before. They developed a new form of measurement called cubic. It was used to design massive structures such as the Great Pyramid with remarkable geometrical precision. The Egyptians also measured time by combining mathematics with astronomy. They established a 24-hour division to the day and create a solar calendar, which was the first dating system in history to feature 365 days in 1 year. Lastly, Egyptians developed methods to measure and survey land across the Nile River. The civil engineering feats made way for the construction of dams, canals, and irrigation systems that helped farming and agriculture to flourish in the Nile Valley. In addition to mathematical concepts, the ancient Egyptians also created written languages to describe the world around them. The oldest and probably the most well-known of these is hieroglyphic writing. This system was developed around 3150 BC during the Old Kingdom and has over 700 pictorial characters. It was used to inscribe monuments and pottery and predominantly served a decorative and ceremonial purpose. Soon after, another ancient form of writing called hieratic developed out of the hieroglyphic system. It was a form of cursive that was written in ink and served a more functional purpose. Unlike its more formal predecessor, hieratic was written on another ancient Egyptian innovation, which is papyrus. Papyrus was a type of paper derived from the papyrus plant, which grew plentifully along the Nile River. This medium gave the ancient Egyptians a new avenue of communication and records keeping that allowed their civilization's administrative skill to grow and their culture to spread for thousands of years.
We all know that every civilization will come to an end. So, what do you think happened by the end of the Egyptian civilization?
The Nile, the giver of life in Egypt, started acting strange. The yearly floods, which brought rich soil and crops, became unreliable. Sometimes the floods were weak, leaving fields dry and dusty. In other times, they were too strong, washing away everything. People grew hungry and worried. The pharaohs, the powerful kings seen as gods, couldn't fix this. People started blaming each other, and different parts of Egypt argued and fought. Meanwhile, stronger countries nearby like the Assyrians and Persians saw their chance. They attacked Egypt like hungry lions pouncing on a sick gazelle. Trade routes were disrupted, making it hard to get good things. People could not pay their taxes to the pharaohs anymore, and grand building projects like temples had to stop. The Egyptian army, once mighty warriors, were too busy fighting off attackers to keep the peace. Even the amazing pyramids, built to last forever, were not safe. The once powerful and united Egypt crumbled into smaller cities that fought amongst themselves. Finally, a great leader named Alexander the Great came along and conquered Egypt. Thus, the great civilizations that built pyramids and worshipped powerful pharaohs as gods slowly faded away, leaving behind only giant statues, pointed pyramids, and stories whispered in the wind.
The Islamic and conventional viewpoints, monotheisms and interpretation. Since Islam is monotheistic, some scholars view Egyptian polytheism as a deviation from the true faith. Conversely, others might seek evidence of early monotheistic traditions within Egyptian belief, creating a richer understanding of religious developments in the region. This focus on monotheism has influenced Islamic interpretation of history and the roles of religion in society. However, conventional perspectives view that the religion of ancient Egypt is regarded to be polytheistic, and it features a wide pantheon of gods and goddesses that symbolize numerous aspects of human life and the natural world simultaneously. Pharaohs were frequently seen as having divine connection or even coming from a divine background themselves. In Islamic perspective, the Islamic religion is a monotheistic religion, which means that its adherents believe in a single God who is both all-knowing and all-powerful. According to Islamic theologians, the Egyptian gods are considered to be idol or false deities, and the divine position of the pharaoh is not acknowledged. The Quran, which is considered to be the sacred book of Islam, condemns the practice of worshipping idols and emphasizes the necessity of worshipping only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
While Islamic emerged long after the twilight of ancient Egypt, its core tenets regarding leadership offer a fascinating lens through which to examine the pharaoh's reign. Islamic leadership emphasizes justice and fairness, demanding rulers to act as shepherds, ensuring the well-being of their flock. This resonates with the pharaoh's role as a divinely chosen intermediary responsible for maintaining Ma'at, the cosmic order that brought prosperity and stability. However, the concept of consultation, where Islamic leaders actively seek the counsel of wise advisors, find a parallel in the viziers who served alongside the pharaohs. Yet, a stark divergence emerges when considering the pharaoh's claim to divinity. Islamic leadership is rooted in humility, with rulers seen as servants of Allah, entrusted with a weighty responsibility. This stands in stark contrast to the pharaoh's absolute power, potentially leading to situations where divinely sanctioned authority becomes a tool for self-preservation rather than the betterment of the people. By examining the pharaohs through this Islamic lens, we gain a nuanced understanding of leadership, highlighting the importance of just rule and wise counsel, while also exposing the dangers inherent in unchecked power, even when clothed in the mantle of divinity.
The concept of afterlife can be tied with the conventional viewpoints of the Egyptian civilization. Their beliefs of the afterlife puts a large emphasis on the judgment and preparation of the next life. This belief can be observed through the way pharaohs were entombed while being surrounded by riches that filled the tomb for the usage of the afterlife. Egyptians themselves held several views about the afterlife. The most prominent that is highlighted on is called the Duat, where it's known as the journey of the underworld to fight the challenges. Once the Z spirit, called Ba, which is soul, and Ka, life force, will face trials and demons before reaching Osiris, which is the god of the underworld. The concept of polytheism played a vital role within the Egyptian civilization as they believe in the gods of the underworld, where Osiris, which is the god the god itself presided over the judgment of the disease. Other gods like Anubis, the jackal god, help with mummification and guiding souls through the Duat. And the mention of Pharaoh's divine role, his role is partly involving ensuring Ma'at, which represents the concept of cosmic order, truth, and justice, was maintained, which indirectly affected the afterlife for everyone.
In addition to that, the conventional viewpoints analyzed the legacy of the ancient Egyptian through the concepts of kingship and government. The centralized Egyptian state with a powerful pharaoh served as a model for later empires, influencing ideas of centralized authority and divine right of kings. Move to the impact on subsequent society of the modern Egyptian societies. Identity and national pride. In the communal memory and sense of national identity of modern Egyptians, ancient Egypt occupies a unique and significant position. They feel a sense of pride and the connection to Egypt's rich cultural history as a result of the achievement of their forefathers in fields such as building, engineering, and literature. The Egyptians regard themselves as the heirs of a beautiful civilization, which helped to build a feeling of national identity that dates back millennia. In addition to this, it also promotes a sense of continuity. This illustrates history is constantly brought to mind by the pharaoh, pyramid, and hieroglyph that have been preserved. Additionally, it is the creator of the source of pride. To what extent do the accomplishment of ancient Egypt in the field of art, architecture, mathematics, and astronomy create a sense of national pride? Pride has the potential to serve as a unifying factor and a source of strength when faced with difficult circumstances. The legacy of ancient Egypt is firmly woven into the fabric of modern Egyptian society. In addition to providing a sense of identity and national pride, it also serves as a connection to a rich history that continues to have an impact on both the present and the future.
In the perspective of the Egyptian civilization, we are aware that it has its impacts on the subsequent societies today, which is within the area of tourism and economy. The archaeological and ancient wonders such as the pyramids of Giza has become one of the prominent attractions of a million number of tourists within the country every year. Hence, it provides a large boost to the economy through revenue from tourism-related activities such as guided tours, museum visits, and souvenirs sales. Besides that, the Nile River has become a well-known spot for tourists as it is known to be the heart of ancient Egypt itself, as it offers a cruise along the river to showcase its historical and natural wonders. The impact of infrastructure development becomes an important part of life today, as the revenue retrieved from the tourism activities can help in funding infrastructure development, improving transportation networks, communication systems, and facilities in tourist destinations in order to assist and make life easier for both the local residents of Egypt and fellow tourists.